CAF has been working closely this year with the U.S. Association of Blind Athletes to further its reach with those who have visual impairments and give more visually impaired athletes an opportunity to compete at the elite level. My pleasure to introduce Molly Quinn, CEO of U.S. Association of Blind Athletes, and a panel of GoalBall Paralympians and blind soccer players. Molly, come on up. There you go, Molly.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for having us. We're going to get all of our athletes seated. I just want to give a big shout out to Bob Babbitt. We've known each other for 3 decades, and I appreciate all the work that he's done in order to bring more opportunities to adaptive sports across the country. Thanks, Bob. All right, let's get started here. So my name's Molly Quinn, CEO of the United States Association of Blind Athletes. We're super excited to be a part of the Challenge Athletes Foundation Community Weekend for the first time. And we've had an opportunity to have a couple of clinics for blind and visually impaired participants. And I'm going to introduce our panelists. Our first panelist is Asia Miller, 6-time Paralympian, 5-time medalist. Let's give her a round of applause. Next to her is Callahan Young, first-time Paralympian. You're going to hear a little bit more about the sport he plays, GoalBall. And our next athlete is Ricky Castaneda. Ricky is going to be vying to make the first ever USA National Blind Soccer Team coming up here a week from this weekend. Welcome, Ricky. And we've got Bailey Martin. Bailey Martin is a college student and a multidiscipline athlete, and she's helping us build blind soccer across the country. So a lot of people ask us about the sport of goalball. It does not have an Olympic counterpart. Think through that for a second. There is not an Olympic counterpart to this sport. So what I want to do is have Asia Miller explain a little bit more about the sport of goalball.
Hey everyone, I hope everyone's having fun. I know I am. All right, goalball is a team sport for people who are blind or visually impaired. It's played on an indoor volleyball-sized court, 3-on-3. The offense has an underhand throw like softball pitching or bowling, and the defense is like goalkeeping in soccer. The object is to throw this ball as hard as you can and get it past the 3 people on the other end. Our goals are like soccer goals, but 3 times as wide and half as short. The court is tactile. Everybody's blindfolded, and the ball has bells in it.
Fantastic. So the men's and women's goalball teams are the most decorated in the world, and they are on their journey, their road to Paris coming up here. And I'm going to have Callahan tell the audience a little bit about what that road to Paris looks like.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Callahan Young, and I'm the captain of the USA men's goalball team. We have our World Championships in Portugal starting on December 5th and going through December 16th. The teams, the USA women's team finished in silver plate with a silver medal in the Tokyo Games last year, and the men's team finished in 4th place. So we're both trying to work off of that major accomplishment on both ends. And the World Championships is our first opportunity to qualify for the Paris 2024 Games, and so the first 2 teams in the men's bracket and women's bracket both qualify. So that's our big game coming up.
Awesome. Thanks, Callahan. I think one thing I'd love to have you share with folks is how hard and how fast can you throw a goalball?
Yeah, so watching goalball, you may not realize it, but it is a nonstop 24-minute, like 100 burpees in 24 minutes, as I'd like to say. But whenever you're playing, the ball going down the court, going down the 18-meter court, is the ball's going like 40, 45 miles per hour. So whenever you're blocking that 3-pound ball, it's hitting you with some speed.
How much speed?
It's going like 40 miles per hour. So you have about a half a second to decide where the ball's coming from and where it's going to, and you have to dive out and block it or play backup defense. And make a whole bunch of decisions in like less than a second.
Great. And one of the things that's really exciting is the next Paralympic team sport that our organization is in the process of building. And I'm going to take it over here to Ricky. And Ricky's going to tell us a little bit more about how to play blind soccer.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Ricky Castaneda. I'm 22 years old. I am a USABA ambassador, so that just means I go around the United States. Such as this, teaching blind soccer. The field is 40 by 20 meters, which is 120 feet by 60 feet. The ball has a rattling sound, just like a baby rattle. It's a little harder and smaller, so think about futsal, if anybody has played. So when the ball is being played, the defensive player, when attacking the ball, and the person with the ball has to say voy. Voy is the international word for I'm coming or I'm coming to attack you. That is how we know that a player is going to attack us and getting ready to defend. And so that means that we have to do what we have to do to win that USA gold.
That's great. Thanks, Ricky. And I think one of the things that's really exciting is that Ricky is one of the national team pool players to name the first ever men's U.S. team. And he's going to be in Chula Vista at the Chula Vista Elite Athlete Training Center, which is also a United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee Center, with 12 of his other teammates and 2 sighted goalies that also participate in this new and exciting sport. So let's give a round of applause and wish Ricky some luck here. And Bailey has been helping us build blind soccer across the country, and she had quite an experience yesterday with some clinics that we held in Los Angeles through the Los Angeles Rec and Park program. And Bailey had a chance to work with students and some participants anywhere from 5 to 15 years old, and she's going to share a little bit about her experience.
Yeah, so as you guys heard, my name is Bailey Martin, and yesterday I went to these amazing clinics where we were able to help out kids and teach them all about blind soccer and really just get them involved. One interesting thing about me is I actually didn't lose my vision until the age of 12. And so up until then, I had played every single sighted sport you can think of. And then when I lost my vision, I suddenly wasn't able to do anything independently. And sports to me was my independence. It was the one thing I could do completely by myself, and I didn't have to rely on other people. And that's exactly what those kids learned yesterday. They learned how they can be independent and that they don't have to rely on other people, and that they can really become themselves and, treat sports as this experience where they are able to learn about themselves as well and not only about the sport. And so it was such an incredibly amazing and inspiring opportunity to see all these kids come to love the sport of blind soccer. And it's really through the help of foundations such as USABA that kids are able to do that.
That's fantastic. And I'm going to come back to Ricky and have Ricky share a little bit about talking with the parents and how important it is to have parents that are out helping kids, because that's the other part, is that we need support from parents. So why don't you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So yesterday I got the chance to speak to a couple parents that are bilingual, and myself, I'm bilingual in Spanish and English fully. So I got to speak with them, learn about a little bit more about their child, and it really brought my heartstrings and my heart a little bit bigger. And CAF is a big part of that. These parents have small resources for their children. I'm very fortunate to have a blind mother that taught me everything about blindness. And so now I'm here to teach these parents on how to teach their children how to be blind and be successful in sports like these, such as blind soccer. So, thank you.
So, October, just if you weren't aware, is National Blindness Awareness Month, and it's National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And one of the things that's so important is, we've got 4 incredible athletes up here, but we also have to think about careers and what happens off the court. I'm going to have Asia share a little bit of her off the court and what she does, day in and day out.
I love surprise questions. All right. So my day job will say I'm a personal trainer, and that works very well for being an athlete is because I can work out at work. I mean, I don't get paid for it, but the location there is great. I also, have a few side hustles, one of which I coach track and field. I coach the throws privately. I have a few high school athletes that I coach. But with those jobs, those ones specifically, I make my own schedule. So that allows me to take off like Friday so I can come down here and schedule my own clients. And that's what works for me for now until I retire and become a real big adult. But
that's great. And I'm going to give the final mic over to Callahan. We're really fortunate as part of being a national governing body for the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee is to have athlete representation on our board of directors. And Callahan is one of those athlete representatives, and I'd like to have him just share a quick thought on what it's like to be attending board meetings.
Thank you. Yeah, so I have been a United States Association of Blind Athlete board of directors member since 2020. I joined in September, and as I go on this journey of progressing my professional abilities and just my professional realm, and I just graduated with my master's in August of 2021, any experience I get to be around people that live in a professional landscape like the board of directors, it's just a learning experience for me, and it really helps me figure out what I want to do with my life. And it also gives me the opportunity to have a voice and feel like I can help those that are coming up in the sports and the blind sports arena, and help make things as best as possible for them and make sure that the organization is performing at their best.
That's great. So important to have the athlete voice as part of what we do day in and day out. So you've learned a little bit more about the United States Association of Blind Athletes and our road to Paris for the sport of goalball for both our men's and women's teams. And then as part of the summer games coming back to Los Angeles, by the time it gets here in 2028, it will be 3 decades since the summer games have been held on American soil. What happens is that when you're the host country is that you automatically get to qualify a team, which means that we will be able to field the first ever men's national blind soccer team. And Ricky is one of those participants. So we're going to call it a day. Thank you for having us, CAF. Thank you, Bob Babbitt. Thank you for everything that everybody did today. And let's give a round of applause for those volunteers.